Now, days after Russian drones violated Polish airspace, Europe is turning up the heat on Moscow. From sanctions to fighter jet deployments, the message is clear that NATO allies are closing ranks. Here's more in this report.
On Friday, several European nations and the EU summoned Russian envoys demanding answers over this week's violation of Polish skies. Britain rolled out a new sanctions package targeting ships moving Russian oil and companies supplying key components for Moscow's weapon industry. Germany announced it has extended and expanded its participation in NATO's air policing program, reinforcing Polish airspace.
I would like to reiterate that this is one contribution among others. We also continue to provide air-to-air refueling contributions to support this air policing mission on the ground. This is carried out by this multinational tanker fleet. And the other missions we have on the eastern flank, including air defense, form the framework around this.
France too pledged support, President Emmanuel Macron confirming the deployment of 3 Rafale fighter jets to bolster NATO's eastern flank, stressing that Europe's security is a top priority. The move follows a sharp warning from the Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk, who accused Moscow of the strike and urged allies not to turn a blind eye.
We don't think Russia is behind this provocation. We know it. However, I also understand that for all those who would like some kind of normalization, stabilization, some kind of policy of understanding with Russia, this situation is very uncomfortable. Because if what happened in the Polish skies on the night of September 10th is happening, it's hard to pretend that nothing happened. I hope that none of our allies will pretend that nothing happened, because it did happen.
President Donald Trump, however, suggested the incursion may have been a mistake, a remark flatly rejected by Warsaw, which insisted the attack was deliberate and on a significant scale.
Could have been a mistake. Could have been a mistake. But regardless, I'm not happy about anything having to do with that whole situation. But hopefully it's going to come to an end.
For Europe, Russia's latest provocation has become a rallying point, but with Washington playing down the intent, NATO unity could soon be put to the test. With Amish Mahajan, Amit Mukherjee for DD India.
And the European Union member states agreed on Friday to extend sanctions on individuals related to Russia's conflict in Ukraine for another 6 months. Over 2,500 entities and individuals have been enlisted by the EU for the sanctions. The European Commission will present a proposal for the 19th package of sanctions against Russia on Wednesday, targeting Russia's shadow tanker fleet and banks, and include further curbs on sales of Russian oil. Speaking to the media, U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright mentioned that the European Union could phase out Russian gas within 6 to 12 months by replacing it with U.S. liquefied natural gas. The same has also been communicated to EU officials by the U.S. earlier this week.